Hello, my name is Marcus, and welcome to my channel. Dragon Ball Daima Episode 10 is subtitled Oceans. We're not gonna dawdle. Let's hop right into it, man. So when we left off, our heroes were traveling to the Demon Realm, Level 2, to challenge the second Tamagami for his Dragon Ball, but the episode picks up with Dr. Arnisu and Majin Buu challenging Tamagami 1 for his Dragon Ball, so that Dr. Arnisu could get the grand scope of Majin Buu's power. And we are immediately subjugated to almost a troll battle, if I do say so myself. He did his best. He tried against the Tamagami. It was also a very interesting fight, but, you know, he proved to be no match for Tamagami 1. I mean, it got to the point where it seemed that the Tamagami actually has a conscience, and he didn't just want to kill him. So, I mean, they battled for quite a bit before, you know, he eventually gave up. We have Dr. Arnisu here looking as beautiful as ever. I must admit, her character is growing on me for sure. It's a lot of fan art going around that she looks just like Android 21 from Dragon Ball FighterZ. I must admit that I could definitely see it. You know... I can definitely see her being the most popular revealed villain from this show. I'd be shocked. If she survives Daima, I could see her making a reappearance when Super comes back for sure. When the battle was clearly done and Majin Buu had given everything he had, firing numerous ki blasts against him and just punching the Tamagami, hearing the metal clank, and seeing that Majin Buu was no match for him, they kind of gave a nod to the original Goku Frieza fight from Namek. I remember when Goku kept teleporting behind or right beside Frieza when he would move away just to assert his dominance of power over top of him. It seems the Tamagami did exactly this when he realized that Majin Buu was not really a match for him at all whatsoever. I could really appreciate this portion of the fight. This is just him saying like, hey man, do you really want to sacrifice your life for this Dragon Ball? I don't think you do. You need to see that this effort is futile. You know, you don't want to sacrifice your life for this. This is crazy. Majin Buu was able to realize this as well. He didn't go all kamikaze like we've seen the different forms of Buu before, where they just go and blow up the planet. You know, he realized his folly and looked at Dr. Arnisu and was like, yeah, I can't beat this guy. And I don't want to die. So, you know, I quit. I quit. So, in a sense, with Marble and Arnisu's design of Majin Buu, they did at least improve on his rational thought, because Kid Buu just would have fought the Tamagami to the death, where Buu was like, nah, I'm good, bro. You win. I tell you what, though, I was surprised because I thought Majin Buu would just utilize a type of absorption technique to absorb the Tamagami, like Kid Buu or Super Boost technique, but decided against it. I guess maybe he didn't want to risk it, or maybe he doesn't even have that technique at all. You never know. So they can't be completely the same. He definitely gave me some Ginyu Force vibes as well, with all of his posing and face making and whatnot. So like I said, just a troll character, if I want to make an educated guess, where peeps were going crazy with how goofy his design was. But as we see, in my opinion, you know, nothing more than just another goofy character created by Toriyama just to make us laugh. And then we return to the shenanigans between Beauty Shop Guy and Vegeta. They come to argue about Bulma, because they are talking about their skincare routines. Beauty Shop Guy's like, Bulma, your skin is so clear. How do you do it? And Bulma's like, you noticed, huh? Beauty Shop Guy's like, I'm going to make you my girlfriend. And Vegeta's like, the hell you will. Over my dead body. Then they get on the topic of the Dragon Balls and how they need to be wished back to adult form. And Bulma's like, I might stay as a kid. And Vegeta's like, no, you got to become back an adult too. And then Beauty Shop Guy's like, you like big tits, huh? And Vegeta's like, shut up. And then Piccolo's like, I mean, you didn't deny it. I feel you, dog. Boy, y'all better leave my boy Vegeta alone. Ain't nothing wrong with big breastises. Hell, without big breastises, a lot of us wouldn't even have been conceived. So there you go. I feel you, dog. I feel you. The Prince of All Saiyans, he's got taste. He's got good taste. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I like that they're exploring this comical side of Dragon Ball. Like, hey, you like Saiyans like boobs too? Clearly. I mean, they procreate, don't they? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if a damn sure is better than them trying to pass along that Goku doesn't even know what a kiss is when this fool has two kids running around. Give me a break. Come on. I could definitely see this comical side of Vegeta pissing a lot of old school fans off, but honestly, I like the humanization of it. Him going from wanting, human genocide to worrying about breasts. If that's not character development, then I don't know what it is. Then we head back to Goku and his crew where they have to take on this big cranking monster from the sea of the demon realm too, and their plane ends up getting destroyed in the process. But we get a decent little action scene from Goku where we got more of King Goma's goons hunting them through the sky in their own planes. They end up shooting them down, and then Goku hops out of the plane and he utilizes some cool key blasting techniques to shoot their planes down with his power pole, and then he has to save Pansy from the cranking monster when she's about to get eaten. She is attempting to save the Dragon Ball as their spaceship is getting eaten. So definitely not the best action scene we've seen in Daima by any stretch of the imagination, but just a little break in the lore. This was a super heavy lore episode as well, so just some little breaks in the action to get a little bit of fighting in there is always a good thing. I mean, it is Dragon Ball at the end of the day. And then as our heroes make their way to the Demon Realm, level 2, they come across a land that looks strikingly similar to Planet Namek, which I found this really cool. Like we originally found out, the Namekians are originally from the Demon Realm. So naturally, they're going to have a land in the Demon Realm that looks strikingly similar to Planet Namek. And then Shin makes mention that they probably took some trees from the Demon Realm when they left the Demon Realm to help repopulate a planet to make it look like Planet Namek. But then we get a flashback or a realization that it was Frieza that destroyed the original Planet Namek, which led to them having to move yet again to another planet and repopulate that as well to create Namek 2. I'm really appreciating these little classic flashback cutscenes that we're getting of characters like Frieza, Cell, and Kid Buu. They have never looked this good on screen before. So just seeing them in the updated art style is really putting a smile on my face for sure. Then for the conclusion of the episode, we get a mega lore episode including Shin, real name Nahar, and his origin with the Majin and his fellow Supreme Kai. So bear with me because it's a lot to go over. So first of all, it is found out that the Demon Realm existed before the Mortal Realm, and it was due to the original Supreme Demon King was even what caused to the creation of the Mortal Realm in the first place. Just like any other king or person of leadership that has been in reign for a long time, he wanted to expand his legions or his reign. So he ordered a Majin called Super Ramos to create the mortal universes. So all of the universes that we know from the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super apparently were created by the Super Majin Ramos. This is a mega retcon because they stated in Dragon Ball Super that the Supreme Kais were the ones that created the universes. So now we get a realization that it was actually Majin Ramos. He has never been mentioned before in Dragon Ball Super. We always were led to believe that it was the Lord of Lords, Supreme Kai, with his fellow Supreme Kais were supposed to be the gods of creation that created the universe, where in reality, now that we know them as glands, they are the ones that they were appointed leadership of the universes when they were created, but they did not create them themselves. Now, I've been trying to defend Dragon Ball Daima for not retconning Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z, but there's just no denying it anymore. This is a mega retcon in my opinion for sure. Now, in saying all that, it's not like Toriyama hasn't rewritten the lore before, but, as a content curator who knows Dragon Ball like the back of his hand, it's just something that we have to mention. Adding on to the fact here with this clip that clearly Majin Ramos has a strong resemblance to Zeno, the Omni King. I mean, same body structure, same skin color, darn near the same face. So I'm thinking either Majin Ramos may be Zeno's father, or Zeno might be a descendant of Majin Ramos. Clearly, if Majin Ramos has the power to create multiple different universes with the blink of an eye or hand, and Zeno has the power to destroy them with the blink of an eye, just a glimpse of power, clearly this has to be some type of a correlation there, of a resemblance or a recollection of a similar power. Maybe somehow, Majins don't last forever and their essence eventually dissipates and gets passed onto another descendant to rise to power. It seems that they are slowly releasing Shin's backstory episode by episode. So hopefully by episode 20, we get a full backstory of the Gleams turning into the Supreme Kais along with the Majins. We also get a super cool little nod to Piccolo entering the second demon realm as well. Him realizing a sense of peace that he hadn't known before, because Bulma asked him if he has any recollection of the demon realm or if he misses it at all, but he states that he has no memory of it, but being here does bring him a sense of peace, and that his father left the demon realm before he was born. Now, I like that they don't give you the exact tidbits of Piccolo's dad. Tell you right here, it is not Demon King Piccolo, if that's what you're assuming, because we know back in the Cell Saga that Piccolo and Kami reunited and they once again became the Namekian that had long since forgotten his name. If you remember that tidbit of Dragon Ball knowledge, you are a super Dragon Ball fan. Congratulations. Now, that takes us to that Namekian's father. That is the father that Piccolo / Kami is referring to, not Demon King Piccolo, because technically Piccolo is a reincarnation of the Demon King. So we're talking about Kami and Piccolo reignited that Namekian's father. So super cool. I would love to see that Namekian one day. Maybe one day we will get a flashback of him. That would be super cool. Then we get a bit more info on Demon King Abara. He is the predecessor to Demon King Deborah. Let's find out that he was the one that made the decision to limit the travel on the warp fish that allows the Gleams to travel back and forth between the mortal world and the demon realm. And this was the decision that led a lot of the Gleams to abandon the demon realm and make their permanent stay in the mortal realm. And then it was here where they decided to choose specific Gleams to become supreme Kais of specific universes. Then leave it to Bulma to ask a solid question. She asked if every living being was a descendant of the Majin, where Shin replied with no. Saiyans and humans specifically were created or born after the mortal universe was created, so they have no affiliation at all whatsoever with the demon realm. Then to end our episode, we have another appearance of Navu, the lone Namekian still existing in the demon realm. I think this is the sleeper character. I think this is the character that is going to really change up the lore to an extreme measure for Dragon Ball forever. I don't know. I'm calling it right now. I think he might have a correlation to Piccolo. He might be his real dad. I know it's a stretch, but just bear with me, though. Listen, if it happens, just remember you saw it here first on March X79. That's all I'm saying, man. I think Navu is Kami / Piccolo's dad. I'm calling it right here, right now. I think he is. He might be. You never know. One more thing before we close out. Goku decided to eat one of those bugs because he was hungry. It was the energy-giving bug or the revive bug. It essentially works exactly the same as a sensu bean. It filled up his belly, made him not hungry, and it refilled his energy. So There you go. It works just like a sensu bean. Now you know. And I'm going to end it there, man. So, okay. If you like my breakdown, if you like my discussion of this extremely lore-heavy episode of Dragon Ball Daima, episode 10, subtitled Oceans, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit that share button so that we can get as many eyes on this show as possible. This show was made for Dragon Ball fans, period. Not more so than just the fans of the fighting, but if you are a fan of these characters, or if you are a fan of the Dragon Ball character lore, this show is for you. This is a swan song of Toriyama. I am loving this show. I really am, and I'm really appreciating all of the new story tidbits that we are getting with this show. I cannot wait for the next episode. I cannot wait to talk to you again about it next Friday. So as always, if you appreciated the video, please again hit that like button. I would appreciate it. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, I will see you guys on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.